And we are broadcasting. Okay, cool. So, welcome everybody to the August committee meeting for JavaScript New Zealand. So first of all, the first issue we have is obviously we have a few new committee members. So I guess the first thing we want to do is go through a few introductions. So Anna, as your microphone definitely works, so let's get you to start. Would you mind just giving yourself a quick introduction to the team?
Hello, I'm Anna. I'm a Russian migrant to New Zealand. I'm a full-stack JavaScript junior developer, and I'm trying to promote two things, functional JavaScript and diversity in IT.
Awesome. Welcome to the JavaScript New Zealand committee, Anna. It's great to have you on board. Craig, can we get a quick microphone test? See you've jumped back on.
Hello.
Hello, Craig. Yes, we can hear you. Perfect. Okay, James, would you like to do yourself a quick introduction?
Cool. Hey everyone, I'm James. I'm currently a front-end developer at Xero, but I'm actually going to be moving to work with Owen as a full-stack JavaScript dev at 8i pretty soon. I haven't got any real agenda for being on Society, apart from I just want to help out. I want to make sure that JavaScript as a whole is advocated for well. Plus, it's a language I know and you're using, so I think I can help out there too.
Cool. And the last new committee member on the call today, because we're missing Stevie, is Samson. Would you mind just giving yourself a quick introduction as our new secretary?
Yeah, no problem. So I'm Samson. I currently work at Flick Electric here in New Zealand, in Wellington. And I just wanted to join to try help out doing some community things, which I haven't done before. I've been programming for a while, but and been attending community events, but I wanted to kind of take steps to start contributing to the community.
Awesome. Well, welcome everybody to the committee on behalf of everybody. Obviously, the main committee members, well, everybody's a main committee member, but in terms of named roles, we've got Alex, who's our finance secretary, I guess. What's the technical role for that, Alex?
The treasurer. Fund treasurer.
That was the word I was looking for. I knew it was there somewhere. And we also have myself. I'm president, so I'm Owen. That sounds weird, but yeah. And then going across, we have Craig. Craig, would you like to give yourself a quick intro?
Hi, I'm Craig. I do JavaScript stuff at TradeMe. I've been doing this, I guess we've been doing it a couple of years now. Then we've got some fun stuff coming up, so hoping we can all do the stuff together, which will be good.
Cool. And Jen. Hey, Jen. Welcome. And introduce yourself quickly.
Hello. Very quickly, I'm Jen. I'm a senior front-end developer at Catalyst in Wellington, and you may know me from such things as trying to run a conference for JavaScript next year.
Cool. And Kev. Welcome aboard, Kev.
Thank you, sir. I'm a full-stack JavaScript developer for a startup in the U.S. I also help co-organize the Auckland JavaScript and Node.js meetups. And yeah, I just like writing the JavaScripts.
Excellent. So you should all be on the Slack committee members group. You're also on the committee email group, so any emails that get sent to society or committee at javascript.org.nz go to all of us. So what I wanted to cover is what is and isn't expected. So this is the first committee meeting that you guys have all been invited to, and thanks very much for showing up. We don't necessarily expect everybody to turn up to every single committee meeting. It can be quite onerous if you try and turn up to every single one every month. Obviously, schedules don't match for our entire committee all the time. So as Stevie is away, there are times where you're going to miss them. Don't worry too much about missing the occasional committee meeting. What we do want to make sure is that we've got enough people that we can have a realistic cut of the committee at any meeting so that we can make decisions and feel like they're validated. And obviously, if you have any issues or anything you want to raise at a committee meeting, please yell, put them in the GitHub repository under issues, and assign them to the next committee meeting, and we'll have a chat over them. But really don't take your role too onerously. If it becomes too hard or you're finding yourself putting too much time in and you're finding it really difficult, please yell and let us know, because this is supposed to be something on top of your work. It's not supposed to be work itself. So please, we're very grateful for your time. So yell if anything becomes too much. So the other thing that you would have seen would be a few emails that came through from people wanting to become members. Alex, do you want to give a quick run through of what we do for joining members at the moment? And that'll give people just an insight.
Yep, although it's on the agenda to talk about that, so we could probably defer it till then, if you want to.
Okay,
I'll talk about it now. So basically, people send us emails to membership@javascript.org.nz. Either myself or Owen will fire up Xero and send an invoice to them for $20, and they pay it. So it's a very manual process. We chose that specifically because we didn't want to invest time or money into a solution just yet. We just wanted to see how it would go. It's been working fairly well, but we haven't addressed the problem of renewals, which is an issue that we will be talking about in the meeting later on.
Awesome, thank you very much. So do any of our new committee members, sorry, can't speak, committee members have any questions that you'd like to just quick raise? Yeah.
How many new members do we have applying monthly for now?
Alex?
Not sure about monthly, but for the current financial year, we've had 7 new members apply. I think we're sitting at around 42, 40, should be up to 45 members off the top of my head. I haven't looked at the exact numbers, but the current financial year, 7 new members have applied.
So it's fair to say we don't have a massive membership role. There's a lot more people in the Slack channel because you can join the Slack channel without being a member. And that was a conscious decision we made. The membership isn't particularly high in terms of cost because there aren't a huge number of things that we can put that are benefits of being a member apart from, hey, you support the JavaScript Society. As we start to add things that are benefits of being a member, then we'll look to do promotions and look at those costs and look at everything else. But at the moment, it was just, hey, if you'd like to support us, please give us a little bit of money to help us run. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, cool. Let's quickly move on. So the first thing, I just wanted a quick budget update from Alex. How are we looking at the moment?
Cool. So I spun this up last minute. So as I said before, we've had 7 new members join in the current financial year, which gives us $140 revenue of income under the membership thing, under the membership bucket. We've also, thanks to Jen's hard work, had gold, is it gold or platinum sponsorship for the JSConf, which has brought in $10,000 into the bucket for running JSConf, but Jen will be talking about that soon. Through NodeBots, we've got around about $600 in ticket sales, so we've run 2 main events this year, and we're on track to run a few more, and on average we get around 250, 300 per event since we've started upping the numbers of attendees with the capability of, we've got more mentors so we can host more people. It's looking good. There's no other revenue streams have been coming in just yet, but I am currently doing sponsorship proposals to various companies for the Node.js Wellington meetup and for NodeBots in general. So those are all underway.
Cool, awesome. Jen, do you want to give us a quick update on the conference budget and then the general conference stuff as well?
So since the AGM, I have launched the placeholder website that essentially is kind of a save the date mechanism, so people know where the conference is and when it's happening. So that's gone up. I've had I can't remember if it's 50 or 60 sign-ups to the mailing list there. That mailing list is for the purpose of emailing people once tickets go on sale to say, hey, you can buy stuff now. So that's pretty promising. But if people can tweet around about the website, again, it's conference.javascript.org.nz. What else is ongoing? So on my list of things to accomplish today, actually, is I've got some people who contacted me fairly on in the piece about sponsorship. So I need to follow up with those people, and then I'll be going out more broadly to other potential sponsors. And the Lumio group that I've been using for collaboration for the conference is a little bit dead at the minute, so I'm going to try and resurrect that for a couple of other key bits and pieces. But I'm actually starting to move most of the management over into Trello because it's more suited for actually assigning tasks to people. I do need to start tapping some people on the shoulder that are in the Lumio group already that are interested in helping with the conference. So I can spread out a bit of that workload, but otherwise I think it's going pretty well. I'm aiming to have the full version of the website go up sometime in September. That means the CFP can also go up in September or October, and we can look to get ticket sales going again in late September or October. So it's all proceeding fairly well, but still lots to do at this point.
No, that's great. Well done for getting that all together. Do you need anything from the committee generally?
No, as I have been, I got the venue deposit in recently, and I did need Alex's help with that, but he's been very responsive about getting me set up with a separate account bucket in Xero and a separate bank account, so we can make the accounting a bit easier later. In terms of other more general things, not yet, but I will probably be hitting you all up for some ideas for keynote speakers in the next meeting.
Okay, cool. So the next item on the agenda is kind of one that's been sitting around for a while, so the website, getting the website up and running. We haven't really had a champion around this on the committee just to take this live. So I guess what we're looking for is, so Mike McKenzie has done some great work just getting a staging website up and running, and we need somebody just to push it through and get it live and corral all the rest of the committee members who have all the knowledge around where the domains sit and everything else, but somebody who has a bit of time just to work with Mike and get that content up and site live. I'm going to ask, is there anybody who would like to volunteer for that role?
Yeah, I don't mind doing it.
Okay, cool. So Mike is Veb in terms of his username. He's just somebody to get in contact with. He's already got the site up and running in a staging site. All he needs is a bit of guidance around what content needs to be delivered. Somebody to gather that content, I think, and just hit up the rest of us for all of that content. Don't try and do it all yourself.
Cool.
Oh, yes. So we should actually make that an official thing. So is everybody happy with James taking on the role of website coordinator? All those in favour just say yay or raise your hand.
Yep.
Yay.
Yay. Okay, cool. So that's official. You're our website coordinator. Thank you very much, James. And just hit up myself or anybody else on the committee if you need any more information around getting that up and running. Then the next bit we have around membership. So we've got a couple of these. So we have originally 5 signing members that set up the society, just for a bit of background. We had to all sign a piece of paper that said we supported the society and we were members. We kind of need to decide what to do around them renewing their membership. The suggestion on that issue was to give members free membership for 1 year and ask them to optionally pay a fee, which I think a number of those founding members would, but we need to give them that option. The other one is, how do we actually handle membership renewals, because currently we actually haven't renewed anybody's membership. People have paid for a year or paid $20. It wasn't necessarily obvious that that would be a recurring fee or not. So we need to decide And I guess the new committee members can give some insight as to how they thought the membership worked, and then we can decide what we could do going forward. So does anybody have any thoughts around membership renewals?
I can give a little bit of background about what we went through originally. So from memory, Jen recommended some software. Do you remember the name of the software that you recommended?
Wild Apricot is what we use for the Python Society. It has a fee that you do have to pay, I believe, monthly, but it automatically emails out when a membership comes due for renewal, so it takes a lot of onus off of the treasurer position.
Yep, so Blair and I tried implementing that and both just hated the UI. So much to the point where we're like, oh, I don't want to use this, let's just invoice them out manually. It's been going well, but we always knew that we're going to have to address the recurring thing. I don't think we even state that the membership fee is annual in the email that we send out, so that could possibly be one action. The second thing is we could possibly just figure out who needs to be sent recurring emails and say, hey, it's come up for renewal, your membership's come up for your renewal. Would you like to renew it? If so, we can send you an invoice. That would be the manual option. Alternative options is someone could do research into this area to figure out if there is, like if Wild Apricot has updated the UI or if there's other alternative options for this renewing subscription type model. But that's the current state of play and what happened beforehand.
So we obviously have an issue in that our membership fees paid for an accountant this year. So if we don't raise the same level of membership fees for this coming financial year, we won't be able to afford our accountant.
And website hosting too.
Yeah, so we do have a few fees that that these things pay for and allow us to run as a society. I'd be interested to know, Samson, Anna, or James, you guys have paid membership fees relatively recently. If you found an... Oh yeah, Anna, go for it.
Yeah, so like I totally understood that it's like annual fee and a very, very low one. So as becoming a member, I'm happy to help with it. And I'm not sure if we need to give this free membership because it's just $20. And if you want to support, you pay $20. It's just one decent meal, actually. It's not such a big deal. And that I got the idea that it's annual, and I don't see if it's so urgent for the moment to find some mechanism to do this automated, not manually, taken in accordance that the numbers are so low for now. But of course, it's a point in future to get to, for sure. But just it's not big money to pay for a year, and I got an idea that it was annually.
I'm going to ask a question at the X or the Zero and X0 devs in the room. Can we just set up a reoccurring annual invoice? Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing. You could totally do that. The only thing I'm thinking about is if you wanted to, like, you know, do you assume that after 12 months you automatically invoice them, or is there an opt-in step before that? In which case, you know, like you can set up a recurring invoice for every 12 months. But if they want to cancel that, then they don't pay, and you've got to go and void it and do whatever else in Xero after the fact. But maybe that's not a big issue. I'm not sure.
I think having to void it is a better issue than just not having that annual fee come through.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with that if we want to roll with that as a solution of just figuring out who needs to pay and then sending them annual an invoice with the annual recurring function built into it.
Quick question. So I'm totally on board with, yes, we do charge annually. We do, using Xero with a recurring invoice sounds like a really good option to me. The only thing I'm not clear on is it reoccurring from the new financial year, or is it reoccurring from their anniversary of signing up, or what?
If you wanted to do it the same for everyone, it would be every 12 months from the time of first invoice, right? but first invoice could be like essentially the second invoice, like this year. Like if we've got 30 or 40 to send out now, we can send them all out now manually and say this one here reoccurs every 12 months. So then that could potentially be all from the same day, but it would be 12 months from when you send it out, unless you change it, you know.
I think that's the cleanest, because the earliest membership fees were paid the last WDC-NZ, is that right? Is that when we announced it, Owen?
Yeah, I think so. The founding members might have paid a little bit earlier than that, but we'll have a few buckets, so it'll be like a July to July. So what I'm going to suggest is that myself and Alex, we go through like on the 1st of each month and just pick the ones that aren't on recurring invoices and send them out an email plus a recurring invoice.
Okay, sounds good.
I wonder if you also, you changed your default email text whenever you send an invoice out, whether you say, you mention something about it being annual and that they'll get another invoice in 12 months. Just as it sounds like, did we know it was every 12 months or not? I'm not sure. My page make that clear.
Yeah, we definitely need to mention it, and we'll change the email text. But if everybody's happy, we'll just take a quick vote. Are we all happy to turn to a 12-month recurring invoice? Obviously, we'll give people a chance not to. So all those in favour, just say aye or raise your hand.
Hey.
Okay, cool. That's unanimous. Cool. So we'll start doing that from the 1st of September. We'll just go through and we'll capture anybody who's due a recurring invoice on the 1st of September. We'll send them out. Yeah.
Could I just one thing I wanted to mention was adding some comms around what that what the membership dues are for, like you mentioned, for a website as well as accountant and so on. I think that's important information to have to see what this money's for. I think people are more likely to pay it if they know it's, not, it's going to something to keep the society running. Another thing would be nice. I don't know about this time, but $20. Again, I said $20 isn't a huge amount of money, but some people, either students or underrepresented people, and that might not be able to afford it or be less likely to pay for it. So at some point, it'd be nice to be able to allow people to chip in another $20 or something like that to kind of donate to scholarship funds, that kind of things.
There's an issue somewhere with how do we deal with student memberships from memory? Possibly. It's been raised before. We just haven't figured out what to do there.
Yeah, I understand it's another level of complexity. Just want that something to consider down the road.
Yeah, totally. I think we've discussed it, and we put it in the too hard basket until we've got things that would be disadvantageous to people not being a member, if that makes sense. So, once members are put in an advantage, it would be great to allow people who can't afford to become members to become members. Cool. And I think the scholarship idea is a great one. So we'll maybe revisit that as we get closer to the conference, because we might do something around the conference with membership. I don't know. But yeah, if you could keep that on your to-do list, Samson, we'd love to bring that up again if that's okay.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to close issue 7 and 37 because that's those are the two membership renewals, and we'll handle those by sending those out. We've also got one with you, Alex, around how donations should work. Did we ever get to the bottom of that one?
No, I'm still a bit behind on that. I'm meeting with Catalyst to talk about a few things related to that, and possibly that as a whole. But I was supposed to create a sponsorship proposal document and then present it to the committee, but I have yet to do that. So apologies for that. I'll try and get it done possibly next month, but I'm already booked up with a lot of stuff. So if anyone wants to take it off my plate, they're more than welcome. Otherwise, it's probably about 2 months behind.
Have you done any kind of skeleton for that yet?
Yeah, I believe that I've got a Google Doc of a skeleton.
Could you share that with me, and I'll see if I can fill it out for you.
Okay. I'll dredge it up from the depths of Google Docs.
Sorry. Okay, great. And then the last 3 issues, or 2 issues, are facilitating meetups, which I think we covered with Kev becoming our meetup outreach officer. Does anybody else have anything to add as to how we can help facilitate meetups?
I will say one.
Sorry, you go, Kev.
I was going to say I was actually going to reach out to the to some of the other meetups along that are JavaScript focused. Like there's a few in Auckland, like the Ember meetup and the Angular meetup and the React meetup as well, and see if there's anything that we can either collaborate with or anything that we can help with. And I also like to nag the Wellington team to start streaming live their meetups, and eventually hoping we can do the same in Auckland as well. So yeah, that's kind of the update of where I'm at with with everything, which isn't very far other than me nagging people.
No, that's fair enough. Sorry, go for it.
We're going to try and stream a meetup on the 30th, so we'll see how that goes. The other thing that I was going to say, Kev, is we've successfully run a year of Node.js meetup through the society, made finding sponsors super easy because we'd say, hey, just sponsor it, pay into the JavaScript Society, and that's it, and you get these benefits. So I was going to have a chat with you about maybe seeing if we can roll another meetup in Auckland into being run into the society, if you think that's a good idea. So the sponsorship money would be put into the society accounts, and then you'll send me expense claims, and I'll just pay it to your account as you go through the money.
Okay, that sounds good. I'll need to talk with the organizers here because I think currently I know that with the Node meetup, Paymark actually buy everything. They don't give us any money. It may be a different story with AKJS. I'll have to check on that because I know it's at Datacom and I think they may do the same. But I'll check to see if that might make things currently. We are in a nice spot with sponsors now, but it's taken us a while to get there. So I'll see what we can do if that might help anything.
Okay, only if it's needed. Otherwise,
Cool.
we can just look to see if there's another Wellington meetup that wants to be brought under the umbrella.
Well, there's possibly Stevie in Christchurch or Dunedin, wherever Stevie's based out of.
Auckland, isn't he?
Yeah, Stevie's in Auckland.
Oh, I thought he was down south. There we go.
No, he does run the React meetup, so I was going to talk to him if there's anything that we can, help because it's not very regular.
Okay. There was somebody who was running a meetup down south who was talking about sponsorship.
Ed, I think.
Okay. So that might be another one to follow up.
Yeah, I can chat to him.
And I think that also covers up ways in which the JavaScript Society could help out with sponsorship, which was our only other issue. So maybe if we just try and see if there's another meetup group that wants help with sponsorship, essentially, that's kind of a good step in that direction.
Cool.
Okay, so we're on 30 minutes. So does anybody else have any burning issues that they want to bring up at the committee? Feel free to shout now. Anna, go for it.
Just a quick question to you. If I'm leaving for Brazil next week to talk at the Brazil JS conference, and I will be meeting, I think, most leading JavaScript people in Brazil. If you have any questions or do you want me to make any observations to there or questions to them, please Slack me. So I can just ask people what they do, what problem they have, how they solve it, or what interesting, and maybe we can make some collaboration between Brazil JS and New Zealand JS. Just whatever comes into your mind, just Slack me and I will talk to them about this.
Awesome, that sounds great. Do you maybe want to just put a quick post on the general channel as well to allow our wider membership to get in touch with you as well? That would be fantastic. Hey, thank you, everybody. That's it. That's a committee meeting. That's essentially what we do. So I'll do another doodle for a September committee meeting, which will probably be a bit later on in September, just to give us enough time to actually action things. Samson, if you have any issues with meeting minutes, let us know, and we'll try and help you out. And I'll post the link to this video as soon as it's ready. But thank you so much for sparing some time this lunchtime. Go and have something to eat, everybody. I'll take care, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
See you all.